Hey, so I ordered this adapter plate, you can see there. It's a Fender Eliminator for the Kawasaki ZX14R. It's still in production today. I took that original plate and bend it. You can see here, this side is bent down, this side's bent down using a sheet metal bender. It doesn't have to be that strong, this aluminum is not that strong. However, it is pretty rigid, so it doesn't flex, which is good. I used the original part from Zero that came off the rear turn signal. You can see this has a bend here, about 5/8 of an inch, right? That gives you about this much space. So with this, I'm not gonna bend that part. So what I did is I cut a small block of aluminum and used that as a spacer so that it would accommodate for that bend. You can see there. See that? I created two, so that way it would have the most amount of surface area so that this would stay as rigid as possible. If you use a small washer, this can actually flex back and forth. So it's better to use an aluminum block, solid aluminum block. And I also use this as a jig to know where the holes should be and how to align them, right? So that these holes actually match. You can see there. That's pretty close, right? So the screw will go in like so. Yeah, right? This is how it's going to be mounted. Okay, so remove this and take a look at the turn signals. We're going to have to get into here, and to get into here, you're going to need to unlock it with the key. This. Okay, it's a T25 for these and T30 that we're going to just loosen these two. We're going to remove these two and then remove these T25s. Let's take it out. Okay. So we want to get under there to see what the wiring and how to put on our custom plate. You know, the T30, we're going to have to remove these completely. And the reason we have to loosen these, don't have to take them out, is because this part of the plastic is stuck under here. You can see that. See that? There's a big lip. So now that's out. We see the original wires here connected to the tail light, the brake light, and the turn signal. There are two pair of cables there. The red and black is one pair, and the other one is, I think it's green, white, and black. I have to label them because the red and black is for the right turn signal, and the left turn signal is green, white, and the black is the ground. This is a stainless steel screw. Of course, there's two of them. There's a washer. So it's just a standard socket hex, 5x25 with a washer, and that's sufficient to hold this in place. So. Right, again, there's another block here normally. I mounted the turn signal onto the newly made bracket. That's what it looks like. Assembly's on the bike now. This is what it looks like. I got the wires running through the bracket and also up to the area in the back. There's plenty of room to get the cables through. I'm just going to hand tight these socket hex 5mm screw in to hold it in place and see what it looks like, and it looks pretty good so far. Nothing is binding, nothing is hitting or kinking the cables. I'm just going to tighten it a little bit more. Okay, after verifying everything's good, I'm going to wrap this up, zip tying the bundle together with the turn signal fully plugged in. Again, red is the right turn signal and the green white is the left turn signal. Now I'm putting in the tray, the plastic tray, just reinstalling them. They should fit with plenty of space for cables on the bottom. Installing the silver T30 torque screws. Remember to torque them in. These are a non-Newton meters torque, silver ones. And then once you're done, the T25s we've torqued to only 5 Newton meters. For the socket hex screw that's holding up the tie detail, I'm going to torque it to 5 Newton meters too, because that's the original spec for it also. License plate mount. This is a T45. I've already disconnected this connector right here for the license plate light. There's a wire that comes through here. We're gonna have to reroute that wire up this way instead. And then using a 13 millimeter open end and a T45 socket, you can just, I've already loosened this. So this comes right off. There it is. Now that the rear license plate bracket's removed, you can see the wire. I pulled it out of that shielding that's there, the nylon shielding. Yeah, that's how it used to run. We're gonna run it up that way, up the top. But this is where it came from, that shielding. It also contains a ground wire, so we can't completely remove it. So basically, I just ripped out the two wires, or pulled it out from that shielding. Original shielding, I'm just gonna zip tie it back because there is a ground wire there, like I said. Just gonna zip tie it, make sure that it doesn't chafe or anything. You see the shielding is now completely around the wire that's exposed outside. The T30 bolt allows you to remove the driver's seat, like so. Inserting this through the bottom. At the bottommost part, there's a V that allows the wires to come through. There you can see me feeding it through the bottom, I guess the inner plate, the inner fender plate. Yeah, make sure the shielding doesn't come off. Just completely pull it through. It should come right through. It's pretty easy. There's a big enough gap there. So make sure the wire doesn't get chafed from vibration. That shielding is a nylon shielding. It's really strong. Yep, and run that completely through to the back. Now, I've already mounted this plastic tray, so I'm just gonna run the wire under it and pull it out to the back. I have the plate on order from Amazon, so the lighted license plate on order. So I'm just gonna leave the pigtail here open using a small pliers to pull it out through. Yep, I'm just gonna leave it there for now. I got this license plate frame that has the LED right on top from Amazon. Part number will be provided below. So I'm going to adapt this connector onto this wire so that we don't have to cut these. Instead, we can just plug this in. Made from aluminum. Alright, let's talk about this wire. Probably don't need that long. Probably about here. Sufficient. It's a special crimping tool you can probably get anywhere, including Amazon. Make sure that's in there and you just press. Alright, it's crimped in. Now I checked the light, and you can see here I put a little plus there on this side. That's the positive side. It's going to be the lighter color. Okay, we got the connector. Let's test it before we mount it. Turn on the key. There it is. Cool. I have the wires temporarily run here, and probably tie wrap it closer. You can see it comes through. Probably hide this wire in there. I'll leave it outside. I'll show you how it works. There it is. Okay, here's the problem with this license plate frame. First of all, the holes that don't actually line up, I had to bore these out because they don't really line up with the US license plate. This is number one. right? I bored these out already, but you can see they're a little bit offset. Number two, if you look back here, the LED powering, the wires that power the LED comes right through where the plate would be at. So you have to put a little notch in order for it to fit correctly. Although this frame looks pretty nice on the bike, I still would not recommend this because of the poor design, and I think it's non-US standard. The bike does look a lot cleaner without that license plate bracket on the left side, and with the tie detail fully mounted, it looks really, really, really clean.